I'm sure you know by now, the colors that you wear impacts the way people see you, or maybe you don't know. But so whether you're dressing to impress at a business meeting or you just want to feel a little bit more creative, use colors to your advantage. I know brands for sure do. You should definitely be using it in your personal life. Just like in general, it's not about getting ahead or anything. It's just using things that you know, using research to your advantage is unmatched. That's what the research is there for, guys. Use it. Hi, I'm Maria, the Maria Fadel on socials. And if you know anything about me, I love color theory and just color psychology in general. Seriously though, I do love colors. I love patterns. I love textures. And I really just kind of wanted to talk to you today about what color means when you put it on. Colors can convey a lot more than color sometimes, in my opinion. It really does paint 1,000 words, the colors that you wear. So today we're gonna be diving into color psychology. So we'll be going through the 12 main colors, what they mean, and how to use them to your advantage. Are you ready? Let's get into it. This is gonna be in the Roger order, unfortunately. First, we have blue. This is actually everyone's favorite color. And I just don't mean that, like I'm not just saying it like it is, but research shows blue is literally everyone's favorite color. Blue stands for stability, wealth, and trustworthiness. Have you ever thought, why is blue so common in the workplace? Well, blue is associated with intelligence and loyalty. So let's say you have a job interview coming up. That would be a great time to pop out a blue themed color. Blue has that calm and peaceful vibe. We see it in nature with the sky, with the ocean. We see it with things that bring peace to us, things that are calming to our senses. So we naturally associate blue with those things. Now, if you saw my video earlier in the year, I talked about sky blue really trending right now. Whether it's a trend or not, I do think sky blue really goes well with my skin, so I really love it. But again, blue in general is it's a consistent, stable color. Whichever gradient of it you like to wear in your closet, you still end up standing for stability and like trustworthiness and people just seeing you as someone they can go to. But I think that's really why blue is a closet capsule color at this point, because any gradient of it will work for you. Now, black is a go-to for many of us. It's sophisticated, elegant, and powerful, and definitely can make you look slimmer. So black can be styled in so many ways, like bold and authoritative for like work or job interview, or just like when you feel like you need to be your best self and present yourself. That could be a really good time to wear black. I'm sure a lot of you do the same. It can be classy and practical with like a little black dress. A simple little LBD is something that everyone should have in their closet, a classic, right? So that's something we expect. Black dress, black in general is something that people are like, oh, you should always have in your closet because it's a classic. And then it can also be edgy and mysterious, especially when you go like more the grungy, maybe a little bit of a rocker theme. So you can get so many variations, in my opinion. That's why black is so versatile and it's a go-to for many people. You literally can make black into whatever you want. Office professional, emo vibe, you know, classy evening dinner, everything in the spectrum. You know what I mean? I preach the color black as like the home. It's like home base. You will never go wrong with including black in your outfit in some way, whether it's accent, whether it's accessory, whether it's just like the main color you're following. It will always work for you. Trust me on that. I know some people it may not be your main color to like as a neutral for you, but black will always stand the test of time when it comes to accessories or just like how to put it on in general. You'll always look polished in an all black look, in my opinion. So now let's talk red. That is a power color. We all know this. Everybody knows this. You put on red lipstick, red shoes, red bag, red anything, you are making a statement. And that's exactly what red does. Red screams passion, love, and definitely strength. Of course, red. Have you ever heard of the power tie? No? Maybe it's more like guy focused, but if you ever heard of the power tie, that was a red tie. Men would wear it and they would be like, oh, that's a power tie, because it is a powerful color. A lot of politicians tend to wear a red tie because it conveys authoritative power and strength, and that's exactly what they want to convey subconsciously. You will notice that a lot of politicians wear red ties. And fun fact, red is actually the first colors that babies can see. Did you know that? It's super energetic, gets your adrenaline pumping, which again is why teams will tend to wear red, maybe winning more. But there is a downside, of course, because cars that tend to be red tend to get more tickets. Because again, it's seen as something powerful and just like a pop of color, it is gonna stand out. So it can stand out for good or for bad, right? Yes, it may come off a little bit of aggressive red, but I just think that it's dependent on the tones. For me, I tend to wear red as an accent rather than a main color because that balance of red in the shades, I'm not sure where I stand in there. So I tend to just go with like a burgundy. If I'm gonna wear red, like as a dress, I will tend to wear deeper tones because I feel like it works really well for me. Now, I will wear like a bright lipstick or something, but in little pieces and in little moments. So if I'm wearing red, it will be an accent, like my bag and my shoes. Those will be red and it could be super bright. It doesn't really matter to me. But overall, I think you just have to know the shades, saturation, and tones that fit you. And red will always work. You just have to find the balance. And I know it's a scary color, but it can be done really, really well. I do think it's better to just dip your toes in with accents as red, like a red scarf or red sunglasses. But you can always do it up. You know what I mean? The happiest color, of course, yellow. It is the color of the sun. It is the color of anything bright, sunshiny, and just happiness. It's cheerful and it's full of energy. I mean, again, think sun. The sun gives us energy. It is bright. It literally, like your circadian rhythm is tied to the sun and sleep and all the stuff. Like all of those affect us, right? So the sun, bright yellow, or at least it's not really yellow, it's like orangey, but we associate it with the color yellow, right? So wearing yellow can make you feel joyful and optimistic. I mean, even the top right here, maybe that's why I'm all like, but wearing yellow in general makes you feel cheerful, optimistic, things are gonna be okay. I'm having a great time here. Like I remember wearing this yellow dress to the wedding. I just loved it. It was like in springtime in April in Atlanta. The yellow just made sense to me. But according to research, it may make people see you a little bit less serious because it is fun, cherry, bright. So people tend to associate that with more feminine or more softer things. I don't know why, but that is what research says. I am obsessed with yellow. I think personally works really well for my skin. I do know yellow is a tricky color. You do have to find, again, it's like the red, that gradient, saturation, shade that really works for you, because you can get closer to orange if that works for you, or get closer to like darker, more like moodier, maybe more maroon, kind of greener vibe. It just really depends on what really works for you. But for me, above all, I am obsessed with yellow. You know, I've worn my yellow dress multiple times. It reminds me of the dress that Andy had in How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. And I was obsessed with that dress then. It was a remake, I feel, that works really well for me. I love yellow. I don't care. If people don't see me that seriously, I love it. And if I look good, I think people will take you seriously anyway. So yeah, let's go on to orange, which is right below. Orange is clearly a mix of red's passion and yellow's creativity, happiness, cheerfulness, right? So you get this color that's literally in between those. It can boost your confidence. I think orange on darker skin is just so beautiful. Olive skin, beautiful. I think you can do it if you have fairer skin as well. Shade, find your tone. But I do think it tends to work so well on like darker skin tones. I love the orange color. I think it's so playful. Whenever I wear it, I honestly just feel better. I'm not even gonna lie, like I truly think it works for my psyche. I think it's not necessarily, like I said, the easiest thing to pull off, but you can find the tones that work for you. It just pops. So if you're gonna wear orange, you know you're gonna be standing and people will look at you because it is that kind of color. People will stare, you know, the oranges, the reds, the yellows, all of those are staring style colored. It means you stand out in a good way, okay? Hopefully. Yeah, that's what I would say orange does. It's just a combo of both, right? So let's go to green. Green is about growth, balance, health, nature. You think of plants, you think greenery, you think forest, you think my necklace. You just think of like earth, right? It's green. I think it's a symbol of like abundance and prosperity. It actually was the color that I chose for my wedding. It was between green and purple. But I felt like green, especially since green is my favorite color and my husband's too. So we were like, It just makes too much sense. Deep green, deep forest was what we actually went with, but green in general, I am obsessed with it. Teal is probably my favorite, so it's kind of bordering green and blue, but I just love green. Something about it itches, like it's satisfaction. You know, a lot of things that we see now, if you see something green on it, it means that it's eco-friendly, it's, you know, recycled, it's green. Everything wants to be green nowadays, and I feel like we're going through greenwashing, but that's another story. You know, call it the urban planner, the landscape architect in me, I am gonna love my green. I think, again, it's finding the shade that works for you. It is a tricky color. I do think it is a tricky color. I actually think it is just as tricky as like the reds for me. I think yellow and orange are a bit less because you just have to find the tones, but I think people are scared of it, but it's not that bad. Green can be tricky. But I do love green. I do think it's a really pretty color and I love it. So let's get into the next one, purple. Purple is associated with royalty, it's associated with luxury. A lot of kings and queens and royals used to have a lot of purple. That's why we have it associated with luxury. It was historically expensive to dye things purple. So that's why it was like, if you had money, you had purple things. Even now, like I have these purple pants, which I love, and I use it as an accent piece, but that purple pants, like they have to dye it multiple times. And every time I wash it, I see just a little bit come out, but it's just so many layers of dyeing that you have to do for purple clothing. So yeah, it is a little bit more expensive, and that's why it's luxury and classy and, you know, bougie of a color. A lot of times now we may see it mixed in with mixury, still luxury, but a little bit of creativity. You might see purple being expressed as that now. Purple can make you feel imaginative, make you feel intriguing, make you feel luxurious, make you feel fancy, especially if you know the history of purple as a color. People tend to think that people wear purple may come off of arrogant. I do know some people who love purple so much. They're like, everything purple. Like the first like color obsession people that I ever heard about were the purple people. I don't think that comes off as an arrogant at all, but there is like an air of like purple is amazing. So I guess some people could associate that with arrogance, but that's how it can be seen as. This was, like I said, the color I was gonna go as the accent for my wedding, but I ended up going with green because all of the things I said about green. Then there's pink. Obviously that stands for compassion, love, femininity. We had Barbie core come through last year a lot because of the Barbie movie. It can be seen as relaxing. Bolder pinks are obviously like the fuchsias and the bright ones, and the neons are more glaring and more of like an attention piece. Those obviously are seen more as energetic, but you know, you can even have pastel. Pastel's colors of pink are still very just romantic and loving and happy in color. Obviously, if you remember Legally Blonde, she wore like this all pink dress because pink was seen as something that's not necessarily competitive. So she wanted to go against that grain, right? Elle wanted to go against it. And I get it because pink is not seen as competitive. It's like, oh, it's so girly, right? It's a girly color. So people are just like, oh yeah, like whatever, you're wearing all pink. And obviously that was the statement that the movie was trying to make. Like she's literally standing against the patriarchy and all of these ideals. It makes you look nurturing and empathetic. So I think that people associate that with being girly because like, oh my God, right? Nurturing and empathetic. But I do think that I love it. I wear it as a power outfit. I've worn it as a full-on outfit, full-on suit. And for me, I consider it girl power. Is that girl power? I don't know. I consider it girl power. It is my ultimate go-to color when I really want to feel, I guess, girly, but also in charge. Like I don't want to go red and I don't want to go black, which is a bit moody. I go pink, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm obsessed with pink. Obviously, let's go to white. White represents purity. It represents, you know, weddings and stuff. It's also still a little bit luxurious. Keeping things white is expensive. You know this. A lot of people don't even wear white stuff because they're scared to spill food on it. It's a real thing. But it does represent comfort and stability as well. Like, you know, when you see something white, you know it's clean. You know you're comfortable on it. At least you should if it's clean, right? It's friendly and approachable. You see something that's clean, you want to sit on it or you want to be on it because you know that it's clean. And so people see that as something approachable. People wear white are seen as hardworking, you know, white collar jobs, that type of ideals, all that type of stuff. They work hard, they do the things they need to do, they get things done. So that's why another color that you could wear for interviews is white. It's a neutral, it's a color classic. White is another one that is like it's stable. You should have it in your closet always. It can be perceived as boring, but you can always style it up. Like, hello, white is the base. It's like home. It's like also like black. Their bases, they're home for you. It makes you look put together, very professional. It makes you look like you know what you're doing. If you're wearing an all white piece already, like if you're wearing all white monochrome, we know you got your shit together. Pardon my French. We know you have your stuff together, because how do you keep it clean? Exactly. That's how you know. Next level stuff. Brown. Brown is earthy. Brown is grounded. It's stable. It's another stable color, but it is a stable color that I think a lot of people tend to run away from. It does give the idea of comfortability and reliability, but I think a lot of people don't know how to style it. So a lot of people are like, brown is boring, so I'm not gonna wear it. I think brown comes off, and research says this, friendly and approachable, because I guess it's just such a neutral, just warm, right? Like chocolate milk is brown. And like, you know, I guess that, right? Think that. But it makes people see you as warm and hardworking. So I think it's a really good color. I personally think brown is just one of those colors, like I said, it's hard to style. People don't know what to do with it. In my opinion, it can be perceived as boring. A lot of people do perceive brown as boring. They tend to be like, oh, brown, like what? I think brown can be cool. I just think that it has to be paired up with something vibrant or metallic or something that's like gonna give it a pop, but at the same time, work well with it. Like I think brown and orange work. I think brown and silver, brown and gold works. I just think that especially like things that have a warm tone to it, I think that works really well with brown. So in my opinion, any bright color could really work well with it to accent it, or you can use brown as a grounding for your outfit. So you wear super colorful stuff and then you have brown shoes and a brown bag. That actually works as a neutral as well. But let's get on to beige, because it's very similar to brown and gives the same concept. It still represents the same thing, warmness and calmness. So a lot of people still see brown and beige as boring. Beige is like, what? But I do think we see a lot of beige pants, beige, especially for work, because it's seen as calm, comfortable. Hello. It can give old money vibe. A lot of people wear beige, cream color, come off like at old money. That's the concept, like, you know, old money, air quotes. But beige is like white, in my opinion. Beige is like white in the sense that it's hard to keep clean. So you know that that person is really putting a lot of effort into their look when the whole outfit, beige especially, or white, is all clean. You know, it's an elevated look. So I think that's why we associate with maybe old money, just like with white outfits and things like that. But it can be a good grounding outfit as well. It's a great base. Same thing with the brown. If you can't go with brown because you think it's too intense, go with the beige as the neutral for your outfit. You have everything else that's super colorful, go with the beige shoe, beige bag, brown shoe, brown beige. It works. It works as a base color, especially if you don't want to go with black being super intense. And lastly, let's get on to gray. Gray is a neutral. We all love gray, or at least we should love gray, okay? It is balanced, it's neutral and sophisticated, and it's just associated with maturity, obviously when you go gray, and professionalism, because I think it is, again, a base color. You should have it in your closet. I think a lot of people run away from it, myself in the past, but I am getting better with my grays. I love gray and purple as a combo because I think one is a gray accent, one is a neutral, so they just lovely. I do like it as like a base color for like gray top with like colorful pants. Gray I do think works more as a ground or base in an outfit. So like an all gray suit could be very interesting to look at because it's kind of given in between white and black, obviously. I think it's very great for business. A lot of people go with gray for business attire, for professional things like that. It can be seen a little bit cold and bland. It is gray after all, like hello. But if you pair it with other things that make it interesting, colors and all those things, because again, use it as a base color to work from. That's what I do. I think that's how it really works the best with gray. I've done it with purple and I love it with purple and I think it works really well. You can use it with literally almost any color you could do with like white or black. I think you could do with gray. You may have to be careful with tones, but I think you can. Color psychology to me is such a fascinating topic. I could talk about this for so much longer, but this video is already kind of getting long and I don't want to drag it out. I've done other videos on color psychology, how to incorporate it into your clothes like many years ago, so go check that out too. If you know, knowing what different colors represent can be a little hack to up your styling game, like a little secret that you just know you come across without people even knowing it. Like it's almost like having an edge in the game of life because you literally know, okay, I'm gonna wear something blue and people are gonna see me as calm, cool, collected, like I am trustworthy, and people don't really know why they do it, but they see you as that. Exactly. You need to dress with intention, but also have fun with it. Because at the end of the day, that's what it is. That's what colors are there for fun, just to incorporate and show your personal style. Save this video for future reference and keep experimenting with your outfit. I'm sure you'll be able to come out with combos that work perfectly for you, where you shine in and you can have your own personal style. I hope you enjoyed this dive into color psychology. It was a quick overview just to help you. And until next time, bye.